Okay, so we're now on to day 5. Day 5 is all about presentation. How do you present the offer to the people that are seeing it in order to maximise, obviously, your conversion rate and your revenue? There's 3 main methods we're going to talk about in this process today that I want to share with you. I want to share with you 3 ways that you can do this. I want to give you lots of ideas, and then at the end we'll give you your action plan for the day. So when it comes to presentation, your pages must look professional. Absolutely vital. It's got to look professional, it's got to look clean, it's got to look nice, it's got to be eye-catching. It's got to be something that people want to stay on. And it's also got to be appropriate for your target market. Some markets have certain colours associated with them. For example, a market that's primarily sort of teenage girls or early teenage girls is going to be a pinkish colour. A market that's aimed at, PlayStation 3 gamers are going to be dark, brooding colours. A market that's aimed at emos or goths, again, dark, brooding colours. A personal development type colour is going to be bluish, something like that. And something for the health niche is going to be bright, sort of green, nice, happy colours. So you can see different markets have different sort of colour schemes almost, and you've got to match it. If you try and go into a market with the wrong colour, you are actually going to struggle to make sales. And you may think, well, that's ridiculous, but it makes a big difference that the whole look has to be appropriate for your market, otherwise they won't buy. The colours and the graphics you choose must be eye-catching, they must be easy on the eye, they must be pleasant, but not too bright and garish. Now, I can tell you of one site that I know of, and this is the honest truth. If you go there and spend more than about 60 seconds on the site, you will feel physically sick because of the colours. And this is a site that was designed by a so-called professional company. And I mean, I'm not the only person that said this. I've been there, and I know lots of other people that have been to this site. And seriously, after about 60 seconds, you feel physically sick because of the colour scheme. So you need to make sure that the graphics, if you use them, are very eye-catching, are very appropriate, very professional. They've got to make a statement. They've got to tell people what your product's about and present it in a really good way, which is actually fairly difficult to do, which is why you hire a graphics person to do it. You need to have your text well laid out, lots of space between it. You need to make sure that you use bold and highlights where appropriate. I want you to think about sort of offline shops for a minute. If you go into a store, and a clothing store, all the racks are really close together, there's barely enough space to move between them, what does that say to you? It's a cheap shop. Everything's going to be really, really cheap. If you go into a store and there's masses of space and you need a telescope to see where the next clothing rail is, that's a posh shop where it's very, very expensive. And bizarrely enough, this same need for space applies to the online world, to web pages. If your text is all crammed in and looks busy, people automatically assume it's cheap and it's not particularly good. Whereas if there's lots of space and it's very calm and people can walk around virtually in comfort, then they have this feeling of expense, of good quality. It's a peculiar feeling, but it actually is true. So these are things you've got to consider. I'd recommend as well using pictures and graphics to illustrate points, but don't go over the top. Don't go really, really hypey with it. If you're promoting something to make money and whatever, and there's pictures of Ferraris and big houses and jets and stuff like that, that's actually going to put a lot of people off. Unless they're genuinely yours and there's a picture of you in front of them, it's actually going to put a lot of people off, because people are automatically going to assume that it's fraudulent, that you're speaking rubbish and you haven't really got that sort of money available. So you've got to be careful that you use appropriate graphics and you don't use anything that's going to make people think, well, he's just full of it, really. It's not true. But I want to talk now about the 3 main methods for presentation. These are the ways that you will present your affiliate offer. Now, which one you choose is entirely up to you. It depends upon your resources. It depends upon your strategy. Now, we're going to talk about those as we go through so that you have an understanding of which are best in certain situations. So, to start with, the first method is what we call direct linking. This is where you're promoting an affiliate offer and you link directly to the merchant page without going through any of your own pages. So you don't have a squeeze page, you don't have a landing page, you don't have a blog or anything like that. It just goes straight through to their page. Now you may redirect through your own domain in this case, but typically it's just a straight direct link. So what you're doing with this is you're promoting the merchant's page. Now it may be that you do a domain redirect. That's perfectly acceptable. But again, it's still pretty much direct linking, but you're building the links to your domain. But direct linking typically, as I said, it's a long complex URL with all your affiliate details in. Now, as you saw earlier, there are ways to shorten it. We did show you some of those. So you could possibly shorten the URLs if you're doing direct linking. That just provides you with a bit of extra security. But more than likely, you're going to be using your affiliate link directly here. So the advantage of this to you is it's quick, it's easy, and it's cheap. You don't need a domain name, you don't need any web space, you don't need any HTML skills, and pretty much you can write an article, link, there you are, sorted. You know, it's simple. Very, very quick to get running, and there's no complexity involved and no cost. So this is the method that most people use when they start out as an affiliate marketer. Unless they have the money around to pay for domains and everything else, this is typically what they will use because it's very quick, easy and cheap. The downside of it is you're not building a super affiliate business. You're link building for the merchant. You're helping them raise their site up in the search engines, but you're not building anything of value for you. Yes, you'll earn from it, but ultimately, you know, you're building up their site. You're not creating valuable a business of your own. So it's their site that benefits from all your articles. It's their site that ranks well for the keywords, nothing of yours. So of course, yes, it's quick, yes, it's easy, yes, it's cheap, but you're not building a long-term sustainable business. You can earn from this, and you can earn a decent passive income, but ultimately, if you're serious about your income, you need to use one of the other two methods. But direct linking is perfect for you to start with if you want to really really start off quick. You can do this now. There's no waiting around. You can start, sit down after this video and you can start writing articles and link directly to the merchant site.